Hi everyone, Dr. Kelly Ray here with strengthandsensitivity.com. Thank you for joining me this day. So I'm going to have a series of questions to ask you before kind of getting into the topic that I want to talk about today. How many of you have ever been taken advantage of or feel like you've been screwed over by a sibling? How many of you have ever felt like you had, let's say, a family member lie to you or trick you or take advantage of you in some way and you feel like that's never been cleared up or that they haven't said they're sorry? How many of you have ever felt abandoned by a parent or parents? How many of you have ever been sexually abused or assaulted and either still feel very victimized by that experience or righteously angry over the assault? How many of you have invested a lot of money in perhaps a business or someone only to lose all of that? Or as a result of some change in your life, you've had to file bankruptcy. And how many of you feel regret or shame around that? How many of you have felt like you've done an amazing job at your career and you feel like you just bust your butt all of the time only to never be recognized or be passed over for a promotion, and you feel righteously upset about that because you feel like you are more than qualified to do this job? How many of you have been in a relationship that you know is unhealthy for you, it's unhealthy for them, and yet you still justify or rationalize, one, that you don't want to be alone, two, well, I've made my bed, I might as well lie in it, or three, don't know another way out, don't feel like there is a way out, have lots of reasons why there's no way out, no money, nowhere to go, nothing. All of the stories and questions that we tell ourselves. How many have felt any, if not all of these things? How many have abused alcohol, drugs, sex, used your body as a way of getting attention, feeling like you might get love, or at least somebody to pay attention to you? How many of you have maybe destroyed families or relationships or your own job because of the use of alcohol or drugs or maybe gambling? I raise my hand with you because I have experienced a lot of those things in my own life. And what I can tell you is where I have a issue and what kept me from making some changes in my life was because of the word forgiveness. It didn't matter how many self-help books I read. It didn't matter how many positive affirmations I said daily. All of them said you need to forgive this person and forgive yourself for this situation or these actions in order to move forward. And I'm here to share with you, I say F the word forgiveness. And I know that sounds crazy, but truly that word forgiveness for somebody who feels victimized or feeling shame or feeling guilt or feeling righteous anger over an action that's happened to you, that word forgiveness just fuels the reason why you continue to hang on to that stuff. So, let me tell you a story. And some of you may have already heard this story before. There was some people that were, I don't know exactly where this was, but they were wanting to capture monkeys. And the way that they did that was they took a coconut and they cut a hole in it and they stuck peanuts inside of this coconut. So when the monkeys came, they'd stick their hand in the coconut and they would lock their hand around the peanuts, and then when they went to pull it out, because of now the fist, they were not able to release themselves from that coconut. And so then came the hunters to capture these monkeys, and it was very easy to capture them. Why? Because they refused to let go of the peanuts. They wanted whatever was inside that coconut more than they wanted their freedom, more than they wanted to not be captured. And I say this with all dear loving kindness for many of us that have gone through some of the scenarios that I posed in the questions earlier. We are exactly like that. We are hanging on to our event, our story, with such venom and such passion because, one, we don't want to forgive. That just seems wrong, like somehow we're letting that situation off the hook. And as a result of us hanging on to that, we remain stuck. We wonder why we can never have a fulfilling relationship. Why do we keep attracting the wrong people? Why can't I get a promotion? Why can't my brother just see that he was a jerk and he made a bad choice, or that he treated me really shitty? Why? My friends, I'm telling you, that is the peanuts inside that coconut that you're hanging on to. So in order for all of those self-help books that you've read, all of those coaches or counselors or mentors or whoever that you've invested time with, and the affirmations you've been selling yourself have not worked, is because you haven't let that go. Now, we can do a little exercise here right now, and let's just impromptu do that, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes for a minute. I want you to take a deep breath in, and I want you to exhale. On your next deep breath in, I want you to take the palm of your hand and I want you to close it. I want you to hold your hand out in front of you and exhale. Holding that fist very, very tight, very, very tight. I want you to take another deep breath in, holding that arm up, and exhale. Now what I want you to do with your eyes closed is I want you to visualize whatever that story is, whatever that resentment is, whatever that thing that has hold on you. The fact that you're not getting a promotion, that people are getting passed over by you, that your siblings screwed you over, that you feel like you were foolish in investing in something that didn't go well and you had to file bankruptcy, whatever the story is. I want you to right now visualize, feel that story in the fist of your hand right now. And for some of you, your arm might be sinking as you're thinking of that, but I want you to keep holding that. Hold that position. Feel that story. Be completely involved in that story. I want you to see it. And when you're ready, I want you to take that hand and I just want you to open it up. Turn your palm downward. Let that story go. Just let it go. You can pick that story up anytime you like, and you can hang on to it again. And each time you realize that there's an action happening in your life that's keeping you from succeeding, from keeping you from joy, from keeping you to find love, I want you to do this technique. I want you to just visualize that. Open your hand, turn your palm down, and let it go. I'm not asking you to forgive them. I'm not asking you to forgive yourself, because it's not about that. In truth, the only way any of those affirmations and those self-help books and the coaching and the counseling are going to work is when you're ready to say, I'm putting this down. Let me give you another story that my aunt shared with me that helped me to remember to just let it go. Forget it. So she was having a struggle one time with faith, of having, for her, it was a story of laying a burden at the foot of God and then going back and picking that burden up, saying, don't worry, I can handle it, and working on that burden some more. She wanted to figure out a way of how to just let that burden go because it had too much hold on her. So somebody had told her this amazing story. The story was, you go into a bank and you decide that you want to open a bank account. You want to put your money in there. So you go to the bank teller, you sign up your account, you put your money in your savings account, and you leave. Now, the next day, do you call the bank and say, hey, just checking to see if my money's still there. How's it looking? Is it doing okay? No, and that sounds really ridiculous, right? That's what it is to continually pick up your burdens once you've laid them down. I'm telling you that the interest that you could earn off of laying your burden down is unbelievable. Better than any interest rate you could get right now in a bank or on a loan or anything like that, that's for sure. So, what I'm going to encourage you to do is, if there's something that I can help you with, if you're ready to say, look, I'm done, I'm calling BS on this, and I'm ready to do something different with my life, make some changes, great. Then reach out and get a hold of me, because I would love to talk with you. For some of you that aren't quite ready to do that and aren't sure if you want to, great. I'm going to ask you to please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, Dr. Kelly Ray with strengthandsensitivity.com. I'll put it in the comment section below here. To watch this video over and over and over again, because I want you to be feeling empowered by your choice, your conscious choice to let something go. Even if you let it go for a second and you pick it back up, I want you to know how you feel within that second of letting it go. Your shoulders could have relaxed. You could have felt like this weight was lifted off your shoulders, even if just for a second, and that's great. And I'd love to have you feel that for longer periods of time, because the longer you feel that, the further you're going to be able to propel forward in your life. Have loving relationships. Have success in your career. Probably make more money than you've ever made before, and actually feel physically healthy and vibrant. How awesome would that be? Okay, so until next time, I'm going to wish you a great day, and I send you so much love. Bye.